Hi everyone, so day 7, I've come join the fun now, the 7th video, so we're building up now. We're going to start going into a bit more actual technique on shots. We did a little bit last week, especially with the volley, but today we are going to build up towards the serve. Okay, so try to give you different warm-ups each time. So something that will help us warm up our serve a little bit is we're going to have a game of what we call shadow tennis or pretending tennis, okay? So we're going to play a match without a ball, and what it'll give you a chance to do is start to stretch into all the shots that you would have to play whilst you're playing, and it might give your coach a chance to look at your service action without the pressure of having to hit a ball. So I'm going to pretend to serve first, and we will play out a little point on our mini tennis court here. Then I'll get Danny to do some serving, and I'll do some serving. We'll just play it like a basic tiebreak or mini tennis scoring. Okay, so Dan, I'll serve first, back you go. Okay, best ready position, good lad. So pretend my service action. Oh, good shot, 1-0 to you, good. So you're going to have a serve, go on the left hand side now. Just come up a bit, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Okay, go. Good job, it was a winner. 2-0. Okay, another bit on the warm-up just to get them practicing their throwing action to be very, very similar to their overarm serve, is we're going to actually practice throwing without the racket in their hand. Now, we've not got loads of space, and I'm pretty sure these two, with a proper tennis ball, could throw the ball over into another garden somewhere. So what we've got then is badminton, shuttlecock, okay? Because obviously with all the effort that they can throw, the shuttlecock won't go quite as far, and it'll give us a chance to work within our mini tennis court space. So the boys are going to line up facing each other diagonally, so we start getting used to the direction we've got to serve, and they're going to be throwing a shuttlecock each at the same time, and then for a bit of fun they've got to try and catch the other player's throw. Okay, so boys, get yourself set, get yourself ready. Not too far back down, go in line with the blue one. Kieran, you can come up a little bit. Okay, so get yourselves ready for an overarm. And when you're ready, go. Oh, quick. Oh, near. Start off with it's really basic technique for you, but we're going to start off with stance, okay? So a starting point for your serve. I'm going to show you from a side-on position now. So I've got my weaker foot as my front foot, and if you picture the cone, that's my baseline. I'm behind my baseline. I've got myself set, nice distance in between my feet. My back foot's a comfortable distance apart from my front foot, so that I feel very, very balanced and ready to start. If you have a look at Kian down the far end, you'll see a front-on version of that. So he's got himself in this side-on position to the court. His front foot is his weaker foot, and his back foot sitting comfortably behind, so he's nice and balanced. Okay. Next area that we'll look at, really, really important, is the ball throw. Okay, so the placement of the ball that allows me to come up and hit at my highest point. And I'm going to challenge the boys to get me 3 different positions for that ball throw. They're going to try and keep the ball in front, and that will allow them to get their body weight to move forwards through the serve and help them go in with their throwing action. I'm going to challenge them to get a nice height to this ball throw, so that height will give them time to take their racket around and hit up at the highest point. And we're going to try and keep it nice and straight as well, so it's difficult for our opponents to read, and it also helps the lads go up to their highest position when they do it. So the boys have got one task for me at the moment with this. Go back to your baseline, Danny. What they've got to try to do is from their side-on position, the stance that we were talking about before, they're going to start with the ball and racket together, and they're going to work their arms, or going to try and work their arms in sync by going down towards their front leg and then splitting apart. Now this is when I want them to place that ball throw up, and we're going to see if they can get that ball throw to come back down into their throwing hand. So it goes up and back down. It's going up and back down into that hand. Okay, they should be able to do it from a really balanced position and not be chasing after it too much. And it's just a nice, easy exercise to start to get some control on that ball throw. Off you go, guys. Okay, So we're going to go on to our throwing action now. So the serve is a throwing action. We've got to get our overarm throw to start to improve. You should see the boys get into a couple of positions now when they practice this. They're going to get themselves pointing their left arm, because they're right-handed, so your weaker arm, up towards where your ball throw will have been placed. The ball is now in their racket hand, and they're going to sit with their elbow nice and high at the back, just to really help this throwing position. And then they're going to try to throw going up to the highest point they can to release. So they feel like their throwing power is going up, nice and strong. We've gone back to the shuttlecocks again, just so we don't overthrow and we keep it in the space we've got. If you want to use something else, or if you've got the space to use a tennis ball, then that's fine. Okay, set yourselves, boys. So they're going to try to throw diagonally, just as they would be when they're serving. Cian, just move forwards a little bit for me. Okay, off you go, guys. So they throw, and just have a switch of sides. So set your feet again, get your side on. Elbow up at the back. Off you go. Excellent. A couple of little fun exercises now, just to help with the throwing position and throwing action for an overarm serve. So we've got a Dynaband, okay? People might have stuff like that lying around at home. You could use things like football socks, which are a bit stretchy, that sort of stuff. We'll see the football sock in a second. So Cian's going to face just off to the side. What he's going to show you from a side-on position is reaching up to the highest point. This just provides a little bit of resistance and gets him to feel these areas of power where he's got to be very strong, and also getting him to work on reaching up to this highest point. Okay, go. Good. And again. And he just freezes that position so he gets a feel for it. Okay, stop there. Turn and face the camera. So a little front-on view of it, same thing. Up. Good, and again. Good. Final little throwing exercise for you. Everyone loves doing this one. I said you'd see the football sock again. So what I've done is I've tied a football sock with a ball inside it to my racket. You might not need to use that, I just need it for the height. We'll get Danny to show you from here so that you can see it. He's going to get his side on position. He's going to take his racket round to this bend position again. We'll do lots of work on the throw from here. He holds his ball throw hand up high as though he's just released. We turn Danny's side on, just turn around, mate. If everyone looks, a little lower down the handle. And what you'll see is he's got this arm up, his elbow's nice and high at the back, and he's creating almost a square or rectangular position here, okay? So turn and face the camera with that again. I get the sock with the ball in, I hold it up at where I think is his highest point, and he's going to use his throwing action to go up and hit. Good lad. Okay, set yourself on your own now. Good. Go. Okay, a little bit of work on the racket action now. I'm going to give you a very, very basic little rhyme just to try to remember. That'll help talk you through some of the key parts that your service action's got to go through. So, we've already seen this position when we were working on placing the ball up, okay? We're going to get the boys to start in that position again, and they're going to go down to their front leg, split their arms apart, into their bend, and up to hit. So the little rhyme will be down, split, bend, hit. And they should be looking to release the ball when they're saying split, going into the bend, and reaching up to the tallest position that they can. Okay, they've got a few balls, we're just using some sponge ones now to be a little bit different. They've got to try and serve it diagonally. It's not a race at the moment, you can turn it into things like that, or you could just turn it into accuracy games where they're seeing who gets the most in. Okay, boys, in your own time, off you go. Can you go do one on the left now? Danny, you grab one and come and do it on the right. Unlucky. Keep switching. Stay where you are, Danny, there. Just move forwards a little bit for me, Dan. Good. And just do one more each from the other side. Okay, we'll make make a quick mention of the grip, because it's important to try to build up to having the correct grip, and as early as you can introduce it, the better. So it often gets called the chopper grip for obvious reasons, as though I could chop. If you have a look at my hand, the V with my finger and thumb is just sitting, as I look at it, off to the left-hand side of the grip, just slightly. You'll be seeing it on the right. Last week when we were doing little tricks with the ball, you'll have seen the exercise where I was bouncing down or bouncing up on top of the racket. They're great little fun ways to work at just getting used to a chopper grip. Other things that you could try to do, just to get you turning your wrist out, which is really important with this grip as you come to serve, so pronating your wrist, is to just get used to cutting the side of the ball. And you can see it spinning back towards my racket, okay? So this action here, just getting you used to what you're going to have to do when you use the grip. Okay, a couple of little fun games that you could try if you've got a couple of you at home with the serve. You could do a serve and return exercise where you're practicing getting a serve to go cross court, and let's work on a cross court return as well. So Danny, if we do this one quickly, so just show a serve. And I try to return it back cross court. We then switch and do the other side of the court. Another one that the boys are going to try now is a little bit of a task to get to 4 serves in first. Now, we've not got the space to run around the net, so we're not going to get the boys jumping the net and doing anything like that. They're just going to switch side to side. But this could be something that you do from each of the 4 serving positions on a court, where you're running around your net that you're using at home. So when I shout go, they've got to serve their serves diagonally, landing them into whatever you're using as your service box, depending on the space that you've got. Every time they get their serve in, they switch the side of the court that they're on. And when they get to 4, they're going to call out every time they get the serve in, but when they get to 4, that's the winner, okay? You ready, boys?
Yeah.
On your marks. Get set. Go. That's 1 each, I think. Oh, Keans was out. 2-1 to Danny. 3-2.
Hey.
Danny wins. That was a little bit of help for the serve. Very, very basic technique for you. But hopefully this little exercises you can go and try at home just to practice that overarm serve. We didn't do a lot with the underarm serve. We didn't do anything, but in previous episodes of this, we've worked on underarm throws. And remember, a really important rule with the underarm serve is I can't bounce the ball and then hit it. I've got to hit it straight out of my hand. But go away, try all the different stuff, have fun with the little exercises with the sock. Feel free to send me through some clips of you playing and using your serve. And the last thing to say is go play some points now. So you've practiced all the stuff on your court that you've got at home. Go and play and make yourself use the overarm serve. We'll see you soon.